Happy Friday, Lizette. Oh, man. Hey, Val. Hey, Remy. I've been slacking from coming on here hard. But I still got to do. It's actually like 70-something degrees out here. Where it kind of dropped today, but it was like 70 degrees earlier, 75, something like that. I haven't been on for like 2 weeks. So I haven't been on last Friday. I wasn't going to come on today, but New York. Nah, it's not cold at all. Supposed to rain on Sunday, they said. I'm in Brooklyn. Also, in Queens. Also, you close. Remy, I just actually finished doing 2 of the podcasts today, earlier. And I did 6 audios. And I did the photo shoot. You know how I give it up, right? That I always occupy my schedule throughout the day, that I don't have time for myself. When you're on a mission, I stay busy. And I didn't even read yet, so I still have that to do. You know me, I apply pressure. This is how I was able to do the first season within a month, right? Because I constantly apply pressure. At that time, in that September month, how I knocked it out is I was doing 2 a day. And then on the weekend, I was doing 4 to 5 a day. But you need to read. I believe in reading. I tell my daughter all the time, it's important to read, that it sharpens your mind. It actually gives you a different perspective. It gives you how to see things from another point of view. And it gives you a quick observation. I apply pressure, right? Reading is fundamental, right? That's what they say. Oh man, my grandmother's a retired teacher. You never hear the ending of it. Congratulations to Trump. I'm not here for the politics though. At the end of the day, I don't give my power away, because the moment you sign that petition is the moment you give your rights, which means your power, and you're putting it in someone else's hand. How you think they're able to generate so much wealth when it comes to this country? Because they taking it from your energy, your frequency, is why a lot of people are broke and poor. But nobody talks about that part. I don't vote anymore. If I'm gonna vote, I'm the president of my life, my world, my movie, my experience, and I dictate me. I don't allow and give it to someone else. Yeah, Trump, I hope he does the best. But at the end of the day, it's not about politics for me. It's about the energy that I reserve for myself, for my future, my family, my dreams, my vision, my purpose, my passion. But people don't see it that way. Hey, mama. But they don't talk about that part, right? Like, nobody says nothing about that energy, right? You're constantly feeding and giving to they call it the machine. It's a damn shame people don't even understand the meaning behind their petitions. And why you think they're so applying pressure on you? You should go vote, go vote, go vote. Why you think it is? They can rob you blind from your energy. That's why I don't like to get into the topic. It's more of lack of knowledge, right? Because they are not aware. If they understood and knew the true facts, then they might have a different perception to it. But when you have emotions tingling, right? When you mix people's emotions and thoughts together, you draw them in. And that's where media comes in. And that's where fear is pumped. And that's how they control everybody. And come on, man. It's a system. It's a game. It's a pattern. You should be able to read it by now. It's more like blind and more like not informed. We are definitely surrounded by it, but what can we really do besides try to inform? So this is the reason for this platform and for the podcast, is to awaken people's minds, hearts, and souls so they can connect back to them true self. It's the reason why I'm coming on here, to try to promote the podcast. Thank you for the follow, London. It definitely seems that way, doesn't it? The blind leading the blind. It's like a crash course. Definitely. I've been trying to get that book for like 15 years, and I still always find some myself to go get another book. Explain to me, what is a USO, by the way? Right? Because like I don't have none of Robert Greene's books. Mind you, I want to get Mastery. I want to get Seduction. I want to get the 48 Laws of Power. Like, I know about the man. Like, he's writing another book as we speak that hasn't been published yet. He spoke about it on Jay Shetty's show about 3 months ago. So he's coming out with a new book. You see, I'm not lying. You know but you know what it is? My spirit always draws me to certain books, so I listen to intuition. Yeah, no, that's what I'm asking in reference to what is a USO, right? I just recently bought this book, Mindfulness. Matter of fact, not even that. I just purchased about 22 books the other day. I spent like $380. And the last book that came in was called Sensual. I can't even pronounce the word. Sensual. A lot of people ignore their intuition. Like, I know I'm supposed to go to the book. Guaranteed. Hands down. 48 Laws of Power. When my friend was locked up, when he came home, that book... He came out when he was in jail. This is over like 20-something years ago. He told me, he's the first person that told me, you need to get 48 Laws of Power. Nobody even knew or heard of the book at the time. I just never bought it. It was like, I felt like, what was it going to teach me that I don't know already? So it's more a review more than inform. For me, it's more like the books that I buy is about being informed, not a review. I don't need a review at the moment. I want to constantly dig deep into the unawareness of the blind sides that people are constantly being blinded by, but never find the truth. You see what I'm saying? Oh, hi. I watched this one in particular, hey. It wakes you up and it reveals to you things that you're unaware of when it comes to finding yourself. And it exposes strengths and weaknesses at the same time. But what was I going to say before I got to... There's intuition, which people don't know how to trust their intuition. Yeah, I did. You did. Thanks. Damn, man. And I was on a roll too for a second. Damn the fire department. Yo, Smith's gonna say what so the first one of the first book I was supposed to buy was 48 Laws of Power, but I still haven't got my hands on it. But like I said, I was rather be informed. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I was watching this one interview from this, I forget his name. So the guy says he was locked up in jail with this other gentleman. It was a white guy. So the black guy was locked up with a white guy in the same cell. Check this out. The guy was doing numbers that he was a multi-millionaire. So the black guy was like, yo, I hustle, I sell drugs. That's why I'm here. What are you in here for? He says, because he knew how to scam people, but he knew how to generate hundreds of $millions. So he asked him, so what do you do? Like, how do you make this money? He said, it's awareness. You know, he says, we as white people, when it comes to the black folks and the Spanish communities, they hide all the truths in books. And they put it out in front of your face, and they know that you're not going to pick up a book, that you rather pick up a remote control or a controller. That you rather pick up a book. I mean, you rather not pick up a book, that you rather pick up a controller or sit back and watch TV. So you rather the TV to entertain you instead of you being entertained by you. So he said that a lot of truths are in books, but we don't take the time to read a book. That's why that we are lack of knowledge. Excuse me. And it's a freaking fact, because a lot of people don't have the time and they don't inform themselves. Right now I'm reading about a book about light work, and it's basically talking about how we are all star seeds and everything is in our DNA. The codes to unlock. 100%. 1,000%, matter of fact. You 100% right, because at the end of the day, it's not what they teach you, it's what you teach yourself. And when you're able to get that down, the difference, the impact, and your approach, and your delivery, and your words of expression, your articulation, all come in a whole different form. She's gonna win tomorrow, by the way. Take another gold home. So interviews like that have little small gems in them that make you realize and awaken yourself, so that you know to inform yourself, to not be fooled by what other people or society tries to tell you, which is constantly being told to you that your past dictates your future. But you came out the hole, right? You went from dark to light. You went from lost to being found, finding your way out. It's about losing yourself, but finding yourself at the same time. Some people have to hit a hard wall to understand and come to this realization, and some people just get lost in the mix, that they just find this information. It depends what path you choose to. And everything is a perfect story. At the end of the day, your soul chose to go that route. And I've seen it time and time again. It makes me feel like, yo, why do we feel so lost? In the sense where we feel like our pride and ego divides us instead of uniting us. Why do we allow the separation to come into the center? And that's the key element that I'm trying to constantly look for. Like, what is it besides pride and ego? Like, aside from that, what is it, can it be that divides people, right? Because at the end of the day, some people have greed, jealousy, pride, ego, or an power struggle is another one. Somebody always wants to tell someone else what to do and how to do it. Like, yo, it's about live your life and be free. Honestly, I think that's the way it should be. Hey, Jess. How you been? How are you? Most people don't know about half of that stuff, though. Oh, shit. Great. I'm only on here for a short period. I'm not going to be on here for too long. I got to get back to the hustle. Hi, mommy. How are you? How you been, stranger? Oh, shit. Popcorn's here. It's not a show today. But I've been on the grind on reference to the podcast. I'm trying to get back into. All right, let me give you a little quick run up on what happened. When I started the podcast, it was literally the day before September 1st. It was August 31st. I started to record, and I waited a whole week. I said, you know what? I'm going to record on the weekend only. When I start getting ideas, they start to flow. It's like an open river starts to come out of me. I don't know. I have a lot to say, so I don't like to be putting it on here because it's being censored, it's being watched, and I don't like to be monetized. I don't like to be told what to do, and I don't like that I don't have the freedom of expression to say what I want. Here, you're being watched. So I'm always hesitant to what to say because when I express myself, it could come out very aggressive. But that's because I can know how to be in my masculine/alpha. But I know how to be in my feminine as well because I know how to tap into my emotion side. Because that's where I can communicate and connect with chemistry when it comes to females so that I understand and see them from their perspective. So that's why I understand a lot of females when they communicate with me, they feel comfortable with me and their wall falls down. Why? Because I give them the safety that, yo, you're good with me. You're good in my hands. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to point fingers at you. I'm not going to guilt trip you. I'm not going to try to use anything that you say to me against you because that's some old... See, that's the hesitant part, right? That's some old female thing. Like, men shouldn't do that. Men shouldn't move that way. Men shouldn't try to be using your past against you in your present time because it has nothing to do with you because it's irrelevant. It's something from the past. Your past shouldn't be used against you in the present time because it's irrelevant. Anyway, moving forward. So I recorded the 52 weeks for the episode. When it comes to the podcast, I did it in a month. 1 month, I knocked out 52 episodes, right? I said, you know what? I'm only going to read from now on going forward because I want to read and catch up. And then I'll start grinding again. But me, I can't sit still. I can't do one of those. I can't just let things be. I got to keep going. So I went into season 2. When I got into the 8th episode, I was doing something with because they're all recorded on the voice recorder, on the voice notes, whatever. In that voice notes, I couldn't get in the middle of one of the episodes to try to fix it because I didn't finish it. It just got stuck. So I go on YouTube and I start looking up, how can I fix the glitch? It says remove the app and then put it back in. It's kind of a regret that I'm still dealing with right now. But to avoid it, I delete it. To continue the story, I mean, I delete it, and when I update the app, all my recordings got erased. All of them got deleted. So my 52 weeks that I did in a month just got vanished. That hurt me, it broke me, and it made me feel some type of way. I did all this hard work for what? I rushed it. I think I kind of rushed it. But it was authentic. It was organic. It was me. It was my story. It was everything that I've been through as I was trying to be vulnerable openly so that people can relate, to communicate and understand me. So they can understand where the aggression comes from, where the thick skin comes from, where my masculine wires so strongly with an aura that I don't bend or break or fold for nobody. No offense to nobody else. It's just the way I was tailored. It was the way I was crafted. It was the way I was designed. It was the way I was taught. Doesn't make me a bad person. And some people get offended and come off feeling that I'm too aggressive. When you raised under the roof that I was raised under, you ain't got no choice. You ain't gonna survive in that household. You'll become the laughing stock of the family. You ain't hanging me on that tree. Sorry. So you got to become strong, and it's already in your blood. All you got to do is activate it. You got to be smart. How can you outsmart the next person before they get on you? You got to be strong because they're going to walk all over you. People find me aggressive. No, but that's because I have never allowed that towards you. You understand? I've always came the calm version. There's that aggressive side that comes out when it comes to the gym or when it's time to defend my daughter. Those are the times where that animal comes out. Hard-headed, yeah, absolutely. That's where the rebellion in me just naturally flows out of me. Because I don't like to be told what to do. Once again, I'm not one who likes to take order. So all those audios got deleted. So I had to start all over again. Luckily, I had up to episode 13 saved and ready to be put on the weekly podcast. So I started over again. That's why I've been back, and that's why I've been disconnected from here, coming on live. The promise that I made to myself to be doing this for a year, I've been slacking since September, since I started the podcast. But I'm not slacking in the sense that I'm not doing anything. It's just that I invested that time and investing it somewhere else towards another avenue. So if you want to hear another version of me when it comes to being transparent, authentic, and vulnerable, you can find it on the podcast. The podcast is going to constantly being an uplifting, speaking life into you, but at the same time giving you my story as a background, as a reference, and giving you examples and things that I've been through that if I can overcome them, there's no way that you can't. You know, this is how it really is. At the end of the day, like, most people don't know how to take charge of what they want to do. That's really comes down to. And the thing is, a lot of people don't know how to trust their intuition, and that's something that people need to get in alignment with. And I believe that I already have something written up when it comes to that in particular topic already, about intuition. And so far, from what I've read, or if I already recorded, I'm not sure. But in that episode is saying that you don't know how to trust yourself. And if you don't know how to trust yourself, then you ain't never going to be able to learn how to connect to self. If you don't know how to connect to self, then you will always be lost because you don't know how to use your GPS to find yourself. Intuition is I call it, well, when I recorded, actually I did record the episode, and it started off with the GPS. Intuition is the GPS to your destiny. That's patent. The GPS is actually the light, and that light will bring you out of your darkness. Your GPS is your intuition. Your intuition is constantly leading you in the right path, guiding you towards your destiny. Leading, guiding you, and directing you, telling you what to do so that you don't make the mistakes. A lot of times we tend to make the mistake and then learn after you made the mistake. Leading, guiding, directing, instructing you, that's what your intuition really is. Partially. Because that connects to your soul. What is your soul? Your spirit. What is your spirit? Your consciousness. What is your consciousness? It's actually the thing that's connected to the matrix that actually is just, if you actually think about what energy is the same thing that you allow your arms to move in, up and down, move your feet. You don't have to think about it. You don't think about breathing. It's take the exact same concept when it comes to manifesting, creating the life that you want to live, but you doubt yourself. Because you doubt yourself is the only reason why it hasn't came into existence. So first check your inventory and take accountability, because that's your responsibility. And sometimes people have this thought and idea of, why is it so hard to manifest? It's not hard to manifest. You're manifesting exactly what you believe, which is your beliefs. You got to go in the internal, which is the rewiring of the subconscious mind, trying to understand why you have limiting beliefs. Then you got to go into the childhood traumas, and then you got to heal all those areas so that you can understand that you are to connect back to your inner self and you heal from your childhood traumas in order to become successful, to accomplish and achieve on a strong-minded, strong heart, healed, happy version of yourself, meaning you become your higher self. Time is here? Another 15 minutes. I'm getting off. Oh, man. The podcast currently. On a Friday evening. So that, you know what that means? Your love language is acts of service. Correct me if I'm wrong. In the 5 love languages, which most men will never read, right? And the beginning of that book, it says that it's like someone speaking Spanish and someone speaking Chinese and trying to communicate. That's how the love people try to interpret their loves. It will never communicate. They will never understand each other. And that's where the frustration within a lot of relationships come into the dynamic of a statistic, including I, once upon a time. You ever read The Purpose of a Woman? Read that. Dr. Miles. You ever read the book? There's a book for men. It's supposed to be The Superior Ways of a Man. Read that. There's another one I just bought, actually. Men Are from Mars and Venus thing. And I can't wait to devour that, because that's going to be the next one, because I've been on a spiritual path, so I want to go into a relationship path right now. My intuition is saying it's time to start learning how to go back into the love lane, because I've been on the spiritual plane for a long time already. It's time to move in different areas in order to have different perceptions, not just a narrative. Don't be narrow-minded, because that only gives you complacent. And that's important. That's important because that's their lifeline, right? I'm gonna tell you a little section in a book by Dolores Cannon. Dolores Cannon, I read this book from her. I forgot the name of the book, but it's volume 1. I think it's her first book. It's 3 parts to this one in particular subject. So she's a hypnotherapist. And her way of how she expresses and explains God is said is not in the way the Bible expresses it or explains it, because he's contradictive, which is what I believe, is what I've came across from when I read the Bible. And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense, because how is it that one minute you forgive someone and you say that you separated from the East is from the West, but then on Judgment Day, you're like, oh, by the way, I didn't forget that. So now I'm going to bring it up. And then I came across that there's no such thing as hell, because hell was made up by man in 1928. So that the John D. Rockefeller actually started taking all the natural medicines from all the colleges, because they used to practice medicine through natural herbs, which was taken out of colleges. And anybody that practiced natural, your license was taken away, you was arrested, or you was actually on the low. They executed you. Straight up. This is under the John D. Rockefeller, was because he didn't want a world full of thinkers. He wanted full of people who just wanted to be enslaved. Say, yes, sir. No. I disagree. So one thing is, the 2 things I don't like to get into is 1, politics, 2, religion. Because some people are sensitive and have emotional attachments, and their strings are being pulled, because between logic thinking and their heart mixing with an emotion, it actually makes them triggered and it reacts in a different manner. So the spiritual side of things, it's totally different. And I remember when I would read the Bible, it said, my God is consuming and loving and forgiving, etc. Okay, but how is it that you're jealous? Jealous and love does not mix. It doesn't. Wait a minute, right? The difference between politics is that it's just energy draining. It's actually to left you depleted and it removes your energy. Thank you for the follow, by the way. It removes your energy only so that you can make them more wealthier. That's what it really all comes down to. That's what it really, like, if you want to get to the common denominator, the reason why they do it is so that you can be weak. So explain this. Look up on the statistics on Google right now. 3 things. 1, how much of the world is poor? There's a small gap between middle class, and then there's 1%. And the 1% is the one that's actually wealthy, right? Religious people are poor in the same bracket, which is on the percentage of the poor side. What do the 1%ers believe in? There's a small percentage on God, and then there's a small percentage on spirituality, and there's a kind of a chunk when it comes to the dynamic. And I don't believe in that, because at the end of the day, whatever I believe, I'm giving energy to, and it becomes a part of my reality. I refuse to give any energy to any negativity, because at the end of the day, like I heard someone say, and I was told to myself, I was told this by my own mom. Someone did voodoo to you, and someone put a brujeria and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I don't believe in that shit, Mom. Because at the end of the day, if I give it the empowerment and the agreement, and it's giving the allowance to come in, it means I agree and I fear it. If I fear it, that means I don't have no power over it. If I have no power over it, it could control me. Guess what? I don't give it fear, I don't give it attention, I don't give it energy, and I don't give it power. So it has no part of my world. I could care less. You can put all the voodoo stuff, whatever, because it's only going to break on your end, because at the end of the day, I don't agree with it. So it has no power to agree with it. So it only backfires. Because what you give out, you get back. And karma is not the karma that you really think it is. Karma is actually the mind creating your reality to the dynamic of expression of your soul, reflecting back to you. And that's just a watered down version of what karma really means. People think that is, you do bad to me, it comes back to you. No, it's called you reap what you sow. You get what you give. That's what that is. Karma is a whole nother, if I dream about succeeding and I want to see this dream come to pass and actually bringing it to pass and living it, that's karma. Because you drew it in, attracted it, manifested it, and live it. Karma. Your thoughts create your reality. Karma. But you're told totally different from the Western hemisphere of this side of the earth, which is all false. And actually, from the what is it called? How you say it? I don't even know how to say it right now. Atlanteans. The Atlanteans never spoke verbally, because they said it's such a low frequency, and this is what we're told to how to express ourselves. Instead of telepathy, we were supposed to communicate through silence, from mind to mind. This is how the third eye becomes awakened. But because of the minerals, that all the metals and all the fluoride in your food, from your toothpaste to your deodorant, all closes all senses and puts heavy metals when you were supposed to be light. You actually weight it down, and this is why you can't connect to self. And this is why a lot of people tell you to practice eating fruits, vegetables, things that come from the earth naturally, not things that are processed food, because there's chemicals inside only to distract and block your third eye. That's what it really comes down to. But most don't even know half of that information, because they can't find that. Like I say, when you want me to speak, it's going to be... And I haven't done videos in months. like 4 or 5 months, and I still be posting old videos that if I was to post a video today, most likely it'll be controversy. It will have people thinking 10 times before they even say something. It will have them going back to the closet, having them communion with each other, with themselves. So about that podcast, I hope that I'm getting off in 5 minutes. I gotta get to the shower so I can get up in the gym tomorrow morning. Yeah, I'll probably be there for 3 hours. So tomorrow morning's gym session is gonna be. This kid always calls me every weekend. Yo, you going to the gym? Yes, I am. You know, it's faithful. I missed Wednesday. Still mad about that one. It's 2 Wednesdays in a row. One was because I had to work with my boss. The other one was because I got caught a little cold over the weekend, that it was affecting me on my Tuesday workout, that I couldn't even breathe while I was working out. So I hate to feel that feeling of, feels like I'm suffocating. When you have that responsibility, of course, it's not easy for you to go to a gym and spend 3 hours and let 3 hours go when you have kids. When my daughter, they were trying to keep me out of the gym, and I was like, I refuse to. Stop. It's not happening. My grandmother was trying to make me quit the gym so I could attend my daughter and help raise her. I'm like, I'm going to the gym. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't hang out anymore. And you're trying to take away the one thing that makes me happy? Hell no. I'm out. I'm going back to the gym. I refuse to let that go because that's my therapy. I can't live without the gym because it's what saved me. I will not disconnect or leave the gym because that helps me with my mental state. And it keeps me chemically imbalanced in the sense that, I'm not losing my mind. In a world that's dysfunctional, lost, and everything is the total opposite, what you're told. If they tell you to go left, they actually mean go right. If they tell you to go up, they mean go down. If they tell you to go backwards, it means go forward. It's total opposite of whatever they preach to you. Whatever they tell you is all about learning how to follow your intuition. Yeah. I'm getting off this. I need to take a shower. So the podcast, it's on there, I think. It's in the link, actually. It's a Beacon link, and you'll find Mastermind is in there. And you'll see a cover. I'm wearing a hat backwards, which I never wear a hat. Physical fitness is definitely important. It's actually what prepares you for war on any means necessary. I don't like looking into the camera because it's distracting looking at myself, so I have to read real quick because the screen is actually making my eyes blurry. But I'm signing off. If you want to hear more about the podcast, is there. I'm probably gonna start making new videos tomorrow. It's about time. It's time to go. It's time to bring this new layer. From 3 months ago, I haven't recorded one video, but I'm still posting videos from months ago. And this is what I mean, where I can take off from a certain lane. And it's what I'm doing with the podcast currently, right? Like, I recorded almost 2 seasons in 2 months. And I lost all that material. and start it over again. And I think I'm into season 2 already, but I'm not telling myself that because I don't even want to count it. Because if I start to count, then I'll start to slow down, and I'm not trying to slow down. I'm doing this all the way to the new year, all the way to January. I'm gonna keep pumping these videos. These audios for the podcast, so that I could really take a chill. Unless I need to say something. I got so many written up that I'm ready to record, but it takes a lot. So, thank you for those who came in, participated. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the shares and likes. Thank you for the follows. And I appreciate y'all. Have a good night.